Hello everyone, so in this video we are going to see level order traversal of a binary tree. So given a binary tree, find its level order traversal. Level order traversal of a tree is the breadth first traversal for the tree. So in the previous videos we have seen traversal of trees. So there are basically two types of traversals that we can perform on a tree. First one is the breadth first or level order traversal, and the second one is depth first traversals. So in depth first traversal there are three techniques that are in order, pre-order and post-order. The implementation of those we have already seen. So in this video we are going to see the implementation of breadth first or level order traversals. So what we have to do is basically we are given an input tree and we have to output the level order traversal of this tree. Level order traversal simply means traversing each and every node level order wise. So first of all, for if we take example 1, so we will traverse level 1, which is one root node 1, and in level 2 we will traverse 3 and 2. So that is how we will get the output as 1, 3, 2. In the second input we have the tree as 10, 20, 30, 40, 60. So when we will traverse level 1 we will have 10, when we will traverse level 2 we will have 20 and 30, and when we will traverse level 3 we will have 40 and 60. One thing to note, we will always traverse the nodes from left towards right. So let's see the logic behind this and how to perform this code, and then we will write the code for this. So the logic behind this is, we will take a queue. First of all, for traversing purpose we will maintain a queue and will insert all the nodes one by one in this queue, and we will keep on traversing all the nodes until and unless our queue gets empty. So how we will start is, initially while creating the queue we will insert the root node of the tree in the queue, and now what we will do is, we will take a variable current and will store the front of the queue in this, and we will pop it. So while after popping it we will simply output it. So we have popped the front of the queue and now we have outputted it. So now we have current value is 10. So what we will do now is, we will check if current value has any left or right child. So in our case, yes, our current value 10 has 20 and 30 values. So what we will do is, we will simply insert the left value first in the queue and then the right value, and now we will update our current value. So our next current value will be 20, which is the front of the queue. So after inserting the value into the current variable, we will pop it from the queue and we will output it. So till now we have the output as 10 and 20. So now we will check the values for 20, if there are any left or right child of 20. So we can see that 20 has a left child 40, so we will insert that in the queue, but 20 doesn't have any right child, so we will not perform anything in this case. Again, so our 20 is now processed. So again what we will do is, we will update our current value, and so now our new current value is 30. So again we will pop it from the queue and will update in the output. So now we will check if 30 has any left and right child. So yes, we can see 30 has the left and right child, which is 50 and 60. So we will insert it into our queue. So now our 30 is processed. So we will update our current value, which is 40. So for 40 we will check if there are any left or right children. So 40 does not have any left and right children, so we do not have to update anything in the queue. We will pop it and simply output those values. Next we will update our current value. So for 50 there are for 50 we will check if 50 has any left and right child. So yes, 50 has 70 and 80 as its left and right child simultaneous respectively. So for 50 we have updated the values, and now we will pop it from the queue and will update it in our output answer. So we will now update our current value. So for 60 it does not have any children, so we will simply pop it and output it. Similarly we will update our current value. For 70 it does not have any children, so we will pop it from the queue and update it in the output. Again we will update our current value. For 80 also we does not have any left and right children, so also we will pop it and update our output value. So we can see that at this point of time we do not have any value in our queue, and we can say that our queue is now empty. So whenever our queue gets empty, we will finally return the output that we have. So you can see that in our output we got the answer in a level order fashion. So first the output that we have is 10, then 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 and 80. So you can see that we have traversed the tree in the level order fashion. So this was the main logic behind this implementation, that we always have to keep track of the children nodes in the queue. so that whenever we are traversing any particular node, we are having its children present in our queue, and thus while we traverse the entire queue or we process the entire queue, we will have the output in the level order fashion. So let's now see the code for this problem. So code is pretty much straightforward. First of all, since we have the return type of the function that we have is vector, so what we will do is we will create return the answer. We will store all of our answer in the vector, and we will return the vector. So initially we have created a vector int answer, and then we have checked the initial case, that is if the node is equals to null, then we simply have to return our answer value. The next is we will create a queue because we have to maintain all of our present nodes children into the queue. That is why we have created a queue, and then initially, as I said, we will push the root of the tree into the queue. So next we will run a loop until such that our queue is not empty. So until and unless our queue.empty is equals to false, we will run this loop, and what we will do is we will take a current node and we will enter our queue.front into that current node, and then we will pop it from the queue, and after popping it we will simply push it into the answer vector. Once this is done, we will check if the current value has any left or right children. So this condition, that is if current left is not equals to null, which means that current has a left child. So what we will do is we will push that left child into the queue. That is why queue.push current arrow left, and then we will check for the similarly for the right child. If current arrow right is not equals to null, which means that current has a right child. So what we will do is we will push it into the current vector. So we will push our right child into the queue. So that is queue.push current arrow right. So once this is done, it will loop again and again until the queue is not empty. So finally, when the queue becomes empty, we will come out of this loop and we will simply return our answer value. So our answer vector will contain all the nodes that we have traversed in level order fashion. So let's submit the code now. So you can see that the code is submitted. So thanks for watching.